So today I'm going to be reviewing Breaking Benjamin's second album, We Are Not Alone. This album was released in June 2004, just 2 years after their debut, Saturate. And what do I think about this album? Well, we're going to get into it. Uh, let's just say though, this was definitely not a sophomore slump. Uh, a few songs on this album really helped the band. If Saturate was I actually think Saturate is their best. I think it's a 10 out of 10 favourite album of all time. But if Saturate was the sort of building block, this was definitely the step in the right direction. And who knows, if people like this one, I'm going to finish their discography, hopefully review all the main albums. So, yeah. It was released in 2004. And I'm gonna go show the packaging as well. So the album cover features, it's quite simplistic looking. It's just a black background with a bald-headed man covering his face with his hands, and his fingers are all linked together. He looks like he's kind of got like a massive headache or something like that, or he's covering his face, and you can see on his knuckle he has the Breaking Benjamin, the classic logo insignia. On Saturate, it was like the whole cover, but already this album cover gives me very sort of wintry vibes. If Saturate is very summery, this one is really wintry. Like it just looks like, well, no pun intended, but really cold. It looks so cold even. So with his blue skin. The back of the album cover has like a nice picture of the band standing next to a gate at nighttime. It might be a cemetery gate, not Pantera, but there. And the songs are listed going down. So yeah, the inside of the disc is the case. I mean, is the logo again, but it's rather than Saturate, which had a very orangey yellow color scheme. This is very dark pale blue, grey kind of thing. So fits the kind of feel of the album, which is really good. And we'll get into that with the classic logo here. I think they did change their logo eventually, but this was the first one. And the inside, you get pictures of the bandmates' faces as well. But the booklet has like, I don't know what you would say that is, but it looks like it's sort of made of like computer code, like made of spots to make the logo. I'm not exactly sure what that is based upon. And when you take the CD out, you see the reverse version of the CD one, so the opposite colours. So, very nice case, and very much, I think this design was already meant to look different than Saturate's, which showed a different change of direction, perhaps, but we will get into that. If you wanted to know the history of the band and my perspective, go watch the Saturate review. I made it 2 years ago from now, so it was quite a while ago, but you should enjoy it because I get very passionate on that video. But anyway, let's get to the review, shall we? So we're going to go track by track of We Are Not Alone and talk through each song in depth, as in depth as I can. So track number 1, So Cold. Now, So Cold was Saturate had Polyamorous, which kind of helped them sort of, get a little bit noticed, but So Cold was able to like absolutely like shoot them into sort of like the mainstream rock, environment of the time. So Cold was a really big hit. It has a music video. It's kind of like follows Ben and the band in like a forest. Pretty decent music video there. Very dark looking as well. But So Cold, it begins with I think the intro to the song is like a minute long, so it's like an instrumental intro with very atmospheric guitar effects, and the drums kick in and it gets a little bit more exciting and it gets proper heavy, and then it goes back into a sort of it's very sort of foreboding, and the vocals by Ben himself finally kick in. And there's a lot of imagery, crowds of streets clear away one by one, and there's all kinds of like imagery that you can think of with this song. And the chorus is really heavy, like show me how it ends, it's alright. You know, that's how the lyrics go. Like, that's alright, let's give this another try. It's very, it very much sort of like, was a step in the right direction for, like, their sound that was changing. Because We Are Not Alone, in my opinion, is very much the, right in between the sort of like carefree heaviness that Saturate had, and the more angst-filled seriousness, high, production of Phobia, which we're gonna do a review of Phobia if anybody wants to see that. So, So Cold. It even has like a really good guitar solo. It's not a super long solo, but it is very well played and really good. And yeah, this song is amazing. Hands down, one of the band's best intros of all time to an album. So Cold is amazing. I love it. The second track, not to be on a downer note, but a less good song, Simple Design. Simple Design has like a more heavy feel. It jumps straight into the heaviness rather than the intro, because that's what you're really meant to do with albums. If you have the first song be super atmospheric and then the second one quickens up the pace, that's a really good idea, I think. Simple Design, you hear Ben sort of like growling. I wouldn't say screaming, but you like yells and growls in this one. Um, and the verses are kind of like they've got sort of heavier kind of feel, hard rock, but the choruses are super melodic. And you'll get what you want, but you'll just have to wait. Like, um, so they're okay, and it kind of has that pace to it. My one criticism for this song though is that it seems to have a problem with more of the time. It sounds very auto-tuned or something like that. I think like early to mid 2000s auto tune was sort of still in its infancy with like with albums and music being made on Pro Tools and rock albums. So I don't know. This might not be a problem for everybody, but yeah, Simple Design is pretty good. Number three, track three is Follow. Follow picks up the pace again. Has a really great riff there. It's probably one of my favorite riffs by the band. And the verses are very sort of like drawn out. I think like the guitars. There's not a lot of technical playing. It's just kind of sort of a lot of riffage in this song, and Ben's voice is really beautiful. You know my place, you know my name, you know my heart. And the chorus, I follow you, you follow me. I don't know why you laugh so clean. Yeah, it's really catchy. The middle section of the song, like the song has like the pace doesn't really change throughout, but it's a really catchy song, very uplifting. I really love Follow. And somebody in the comment sections of one of the songs said this is the official Twitter anthem. I follow you, you follow me. Bit of a cheesy joke, but yeah. Okay. Number four is Firefly. Firefly, other than So Cold, was the other song to help We Are Not Alone get popular, because this song was featured in WWE SmackDown vs. Raw, the very first SVR game released in 2004. So that was on the soundtrack. I think Polyamorous was on the soundtrack too. So yeah, but that game had really great songs like Falling Apart and Alone by Zebrahead, and The Angle by Core. It had some really good rock, had some hip hop on it too. But yeah, um, Firefly is like quite heavy. It's like more sort of the new metalish kind of sound mixed with hard rock. But the verses again get sort of like very light with like very light guitar playing. And Ben has a lot of passion in his voice, and the chorus is really catchy again. Firefly, won't you shine your light? It's got a lot of rhyming is used quite effectively in this song, so I really like Firefly, and I know a lot of people. It was probably their first Breaking Benjamin song from playing SVR on PS2 back in the day. So yeah, but other than So Cold, I feel like the other songs don't quite live up to it. But this one, track number five, oh god, I adore this song. Break My Fall. Oh, it just starts and the riffs. You can tell that this song is going to be a little bit more seriousness, a little bit more angst kind of filled, a little darker, and it kind of fluctuates between the sort of like lightness and the heaviness. But the verses are all like really good, and it actually contains some swearing in this. Saturate, even though some of the songs had swearing, it didn't get a parental advisory sticker. But yeah, We Are Not Alone has that right there, so not for the little kiddies, I guess. But yeah, the lyrics straight up say, I will clean your fucking mess. So I will clean your fucking mess. He straight up says it and leave no trace of evidence. And like, I am losing you again. Let me out and let me in. And then the chorus, 'cause you're not alone here. Not at all. Let me belong here. Break my fall. The chorus is just so simple, but God, it's beautiful. Like the whole "You're not alone here," not at all. I remember hearing that song for the first time when I was like about 18 a couple of years ago, and I was going through a lot of um, depression kind of stuff, and the lyrics to "Break My Fall" really uplifted me. It was always there for me, so it's probably in like my top five Breaking Benjamin songs of all time. I love it, I really do. By the way, I've got a Fuel shirt on, another rock band that I love. My one of my best friends got it me, so thanks, mate. Break My Fall. Also in the middle of the song, the guitars get very light and very dreamy sounding, and the lyrics disappear, and you just hear Mayday, Mayday, request for backup. You just start hearing like radio chatter, and I think it's meant to be sounds of like a helicopter like falling down, which makes me think of imagery of like soldiers fighting in the war. So it's one of those songs with a lot of imagery, and then there's some acoustic work, and then we jump back into the verse and the chorus, and God, I adore this song. Break My Fall is amazing. Check it out. And then we change into a completely different vibe with Forget It. Forget It is one of Breaking Benjamin's most unique songs, and I believe it has a writing credit from Billy Corgan from the Smashing Pumpkins of all reason. And Smashing Pumpkins are very much beloved by like the rock world and music critics, so getting him on a song was really cool. But Forget It is a ballad. It's there's no heavy guitars or like whatsoever. It's very sort of soft kind of vibe, and Ben has a very gentle voice, and it's very romantic and cute. This song, I straight up say, it's a really cutesy song. How can I believe when this cloud hangs over me? It's I don't know. It kind of reminds me of something that would have been in like an anime from the 2000s. That's the vibe it gives me. And this song was also featured in a licensed property. I think it was American Pie 3. One of the American Pie sequels. I've never seen the movie, so I have no comment on them. But they used to have rock music in the soundtracks, and Breaking Benjamin was in one of those films. So, pretty cool. But Forget It is really cute and dreamy, and it ends with I could live forever here. And kind of a callback to Forever from Saturate. But yeah, Forget It is like the middle of the album, and it kind of fits really well because it's a nice little ballad. Very cute, very peaceful song. I really love it. It's definitely relaxes you. It's a pacemaker, pace changer. Next song is Sooner or Later. Now, that was the other big single on the album after So Cold. I think Firefly was a single too. Sooner or Later jumps back into it, and it has really like quite catchy guitar work. And it has a sort of like a nice pace to it. It kind of changes, and the lyrics of this song are very much like it's kind of like the consequences of like growing up. Like, I want a normal life just like a newborn child. You try to sit and play me just like you see on TV. You're like an infantile. It mentions lyrics sort of like about childhood and things like that, you know. But then the chorus, oh gosh, the chorus. God, the chorus. Sooner or later, you're gonna hate her. Go ahead and throw your life away. And it very much keeps the playfulness of Saturate, while the other songs kind of like what they would later be. But this song is definitely old school Breaking Benjamin, the right beginning of their career. It just has that vibe to it. And the middle of the song, the middle section, just straight up goes into a sort of. Now, I don't know what it is, but that part of the song always made me think of like loading screen music, like in a game or something like that. I could hear that playing with like stills, like GTA kind of style stills of the game. I don't know what it is, but yeah, sooner or later, kind of, yeah, it's a really lovely song. I really love it, but it's still quite hard, heavy at the same time. You know, it's a great song. I love it. Um, Now another one of my favorite songs of all time by the band, Breakdown. Now the song starts off with. It's got very sort of like piano keys being pressed, and then Ben yells, Breakdown! And then we get straight up new metal, alternative metal style riffage. God, this song just makes me want to headbang. But then the verses kick in and the drums start kind of slowing down, very much the toms being hit. And, Ben starts like singing, This song makes me think of like a fight for some reason. And then it kind of goes into them sort of like I don't know what you call it, like frets being picked. Heaven is on the way, and you're the same. And I feel it taking in. I found in this town. I'm heading for a breakdown. So the verses are very chill, but the chorus is sort of very energetic. It's very punky sounding, or at least pop punk sounding. But the main, sort of like the intro and the middle section sound very sort of metal sounding. Kind of borderline metalcore. So this song really just has so many different vibes to it. And I kind of love it, honestly, and I feel it creeping in. The lyrics are also very imaginative. They're very sort of a lot of imagery to think of there. So breakdown is just amazing how different it changes, and then the song ends with some nice like kind of reverbs of the guitar. I really love that. Next is one of my least favorite songs on the album. It's not bad, it's just kind of forgettable. Is Away. Starts off with the drums, get a kind of basic do 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 do. This is sort of more of a kind of angst filled, kind of lower tempo kind of song. I feel it's sort of ish, kind of like a breakup. Cause you won't get out of my way, and you must be screaming my name. I don't know what the song is like actually about, but it does feel kind of it's got sort of personal vibes to it. But Away is kind of it's not as memorable for me. I sometimes skip the song when I go through this album. I think that's why I prefer Saturate. Saturate doesn't have any skippable songs, but this one has a few. But Away, it's decent, but I've heard better. Now we get back to the heaviness. Believe. Oh my god, Believe. One of the heaviest songs the band ever made. Get these kind of weird distorted guitars and then just go very sort of headbang material right there. And I'll straight up say it, this song should have been in like a Matrix soundtrack. It would have fit perfectly for like one of the movies. I could totally see Neo just beating the crap out of Smith with this song in the background. It fits perfectly. It honestly does. And Breakdown as well. Both these songs feel like as well they would be in like Devil May Cry video games, like the music that you play when you fight the demons. It just has like same kind of vibe as the soundtrack to Devil May Cry. So yeah. But there is a bit in this song where it does kind of slow down. It goes more of sort of like it goes more into kind of a melody section. But yeah, the chorus of this song, Ben proper screams. Maybe not screams, but yells, I don't care what you want. I just want me. Shut up, smart little bitch. I climb inside. Like, it's one of the heaviest songs the band ever made. And God, Believe is just amazing. I just love this song. Makes me want to beat the shit out of somebody if I had the power. but that's what I like about We Are Not Alone. There's just a lot of different vibes in the songwriting because the song it does slow down at a point where Ben kind of whispers, "I don't care what you want, I just want me," and he screams again. Definitely one of the more nu metal songs on the album. I'll say, Believe is amazing, super heavy. Check it out. And we finally get to the end, the 11th and final track, technically, Rain. Now, Rain is Believe was super heavy. Rain is probably one of the softest songs the band has ever made. It is an acoustic ballad, moody, emotional, song about depression. You know, just Ben's voice is really gentle sounding, and the chorus, Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. All the world is waiting for the sun. It gives me childhood vibes, this song. Even though I didn't hear it until a couple years ago, I probably would have really liked it as a kid. But yeah, there's a lot of imagery in this song, and it's just the middle of it is really nice as well. To lie here under you is all I could ever do. Uh, yeah, this song, if you're in the mood, this song will really make you cry. Now, I have heard a couple fans say that this is the worst Breaking Benjamin song, which I think is blasphemy. Like, just because it's a slow ballad, it's like, what's wrong with the band going a bit softer sometimes? They don't do it all the time. But Rain, some people don't like the lyrics as well, like the sort of nursery rhyme kind of chorus. But I kind of like it and it fits the vibe. And if you listen closely towards the end of the song, you can actually hear like rain pouring down, which is really a nice little touch there. So Rain does like what a lot of alternative and metal and new metal albums do by ending the album on like a softer note. Um, because Disturbed, Believed by Disturbed had darkness. Uh, what's it called? Revolution by El Nino had With You acoustic song. Unloco's Becoming I had Texas. So there seems to be a common thing by ending the albums with a really soft song. But there you go, guys. And after track number 12 is basically just Rain again. But this must be a different CD because it's the 2005 single version. It's the final single on the album. And Rain, the single version, is basically just the heavier version of it. There's actual, like, Ben has a stronger voice in some of the choruses. There's actual electric guitars. There's drums in this. The original Rain didn't have any drums on it, acoustic only, and some string instruments. So, yeah, I don't like that version as much. Some people prefer the single version, but I like the acoustic ballad. It just fits the song more. It fits the lyrics, the vibe much more. I don't like the single one as much. No offense to the band, but there you go. And that is it, guys. That was We Are Not Alone. Absolutely, definitely was in the right direction for this band. We would see them go similar in this style in the future, but this was not a disappointment at all. The boys, the band, really just they gave their all in this one. Saturate is a 10 out of 10 for me, one of my top 10 favourite albums of all time. I would say We Are Not Alone is an 8.5 or nearly a 9 out of 10, with a shy of a few sort of, I don't want to call them filler tracks, but weaker tracks. This album is really solid. One of the best albums released in 2004, easily, and it just really helped the band get big. My only criticisms would be, compared to Saturate, the guitars and the production is a little weaker on this one. It feels a little less raw, a little more sort of studio involvement, and the guitar tone is very sort of, I want to say it's got a thinner guitar tone, like you can tell like it hasn't got as much distortion or power to the guitars, but it does work on some of the heavier songs. But Saturate, the guitars were really heavy. We Are Not Alone, they're just a little bit lighter. But that's all I gotta say as far as criticism go. We Are Not Alone is amazing. It's a worthy album to their discography, and the sound on this we would see in some of their later releases. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching this, guys. Let me know if you enjoyed it.